We've had a lot of rain and this tank's now full. I need to pump it up the mountain, but unfortunately my transfer pump has died, so I'm going to have to be a bit creative. Well, this is the pump that's failed. I have an outlet coming from a white tank and I pump through here, down this blue line back up the mountain, but unfortunately this pump's leaking water and there's a big O-ring between the pump and the motor. And I've been putting this on the to-do list, and now I'm starting to have water fall out the side. It's made it to the top of the oh my god list, so now I'm attending to it. Right, what I'm going to do is I've bought a T-junction and I'm going to break into the main water line and put the T-junction, and then I'm going to join these two up. So basically I'll use my single Davey house water pump and it'll go through a valve which is down there, and I'll just use the main house pump to pump uphill. So I've just got to put this into there. Okay, I've turned the water pump off and I've bled the pressure out, so now I've just got to split the line. I use a Stanley knife just to clean up the surfaces and get them back to parallel and flat. I'm trying to get this done before it rains and I lose water. I tend to get upset when that happens. Okay, I'll check those, see how tight they are. Okay, so let's put the water pump back on. Okay, 2 out of 3. These fittings, you have to push the pipe into a rubber washer, and if you don't, that happens. Okay, so this is what I've got to do. So what I've done is I've just put the rubber washer over the hose pipe, and then I'll try and plug it back in. Okay, let's try again. Well, that's better. That all looks okay. So now we'll just follow this back and we end up at my check valve, and I'm just going to open that. And the Davey pump's just turned itself on because it's now supplying pressure to pump water up the mountain. So let's go and see where it's going. What's happening now is that water has been coming up the mountain, up this blue line, round the corner, through a valve and into this tank. Well, this tank is gorgeously full, and the pump is just starting to push it out and it's starting to overflow. So this tank's full, so let's turn that off. go and see what this tank's doing. Okay, we can probably put a bit more water into this tank. Yes, we can put a lot of water into that tank. So what I'll do now is put the feed in, and now with a bit of luck that's filling nicely. It actually looks like my grey tank is full. Well, that hasn't happened for a long time, so I'm quite pleased about that. Yep, that's solid. That's awesome. Okay, so now what I can do is I can pump out my gutter barrel. So this is collecting water from the gutters and it collects it into there. I'll just catch everything I can find. I'm very pleased with the new line that joins the household water pressure to the uphill water tanks. I'd like to get my transfer pump repaired and back in the system, but this time placed in a more sensible location. Okay, it's not even 7:30 in the morning and we've finished playing with the water. So whilst we've got an abundance of water, let's use it. Okay, we've got some hot water and we're filling up nicely, and I'm just going to leave that to get on with itself. Well, I'm enjoying the new space in the kitchen. Big improvement. It's still only 7:30 in the morning, so I'm now going to have my coffee after messing around with the water. Well, morning, I've finished messing around with the water and I've got my coffee, so cheers. The being off-grid has some ups and downs. The upside is there's a lot of freedom and you get to do a lot more of what you want, and the downside is you're responsible for your own infrastructure. So I have to collect all the water, pump it around and make sure that it's available. I'm a little disappointed that the transfer pump failed. Although I've simplified the system, I like having redundancy to be able to switch in a second one if something goes wrong without having to mess around with pipes. So I'm probably one step closer to having a really good system. Okay. And the washing's done. Press subscribe to follow more of our adventures, and please press the like button if you enjoyed this video. It helps the channel. For more information about the ebooks, please visit my website at buildshippingcontainerhouse.com.